What the fuck did I just watch? This is Fairy Tail episode, well, season 2, episode 14. Gloria, I think it's called, which is weird. There's no Gloria in this episode, so what the fuck? It's the same thing with Extreme Lightning. There was no lightning in that episode. Okay. I have to say, this is probably the most horrible episode I've ever seen of Fairy Tail. I was angry throughout the whole thing. Just to get the nitpicks out of the way, so I can get to the main focus. There are scenes of Natsu fighting random soldiers. That's it. Just random soldiers. Why is that needed? We did not need to see that. Pointless scenes. Get them out of there. And then there are scenes of Arcado still looking for the princess. Get that out of there too. We already know he's looking for the princess. He suspects her. Then there are about probably 3 to 4 scenes of the princess saying the same goddamn thing she said in every single episode before. If these people win, we're activating Eclipse. This next scene, if these people win, we're activating Eclipse. Next scene, if these people win, I'm activating Eclipse. Next scene, oh my god, these people won, I need to activate Eclipse. We already fucking know that. Stop repeating the same damn thing again and again. It's irritating. But those are just nitpicks. Let's get to the real shit that just pissed me the hell off. First thing, Erza. Oh my god. When she's fighting Minerva, and all of a sudden, she changes armors, epically as always. Everyone starts saying, oh my god, it's her second origin. I can't believe she was hiding this much power. It's like, what? What the Oh. Second origin. That's another way of saying that's the next step in her evolution of power. That's apparently the next level. She trained to improve her ability. Her ability is just switching armor and weapons. There is no improving her ability. And there's Levi with a book describing this new armor that she's wearing. When did that happen? When did there were books about the armors? That was never introduced. And it's this legendary armor that no one has been able to wear for 10 years because it absorbs too much magic from the user. But apparently Erza's able to use it because it's Erza. She has all the magic. And it's able to negate all other magic. She just slash through all other magic. Like, what? That is so overpowered. Where did she get this armor? And it just keeps pissing me off when they say it's her next level, it's her next evolution. Like, no, it's just she's finding armor laying around everywhere. You know, at a certain point, yeah, I guess, you know, you got used to, like, you know what, she just has all the armor now, all the weapons, like, whatever. But at the same time, you know, there has to be a limit to how powerful these armors and weapons can be. I mean, weapons and armor don't usually get stronger. They just strong as they're already made. That's it. But then moving on, Laxus versus Jura. At first, you know, Jura is putting up a damn good. Laxus is putting up a damn good fight. He is, you know, punching and hitting Jura, but Jura doesn't seem to get any bruises or scratches that we can see. But Laxus is just beat up. He's got scratches everywhere. You know, he looks like he's about to go down. But then after the Erza scene, we go back to his fight, and immediately, one attack, Jura is completely destroyed. His clothes are destroyed. He's got scratches and bruises, and he goes down with a smile like, I lost. Like, what the? Did we just skip their fight, or was there no point to it? Like, it's Laxus' Fairy Tail, so of course he's gonna win. Let's just skip the fight. Jura lost. What? No. What is the point of having their fight in the last episode look like it was gonna be epic if it's just gonna be over in like 2 scenes in this episode? It makes no sense. It absolutely makes no sense. And then another thing. The next fight, Gray and Juvia versus Leon and Sherry. I think her name is. I don't care. because she's the one that fucks Leon over on this one. Juvia and Gray decide to, hold hands and to do a merger again, like they did in one of the previous episodes, and attack them head on. And Leon has this plan. It's like, okay, Jerry, power me up with some of your support spells, and I'll see if I can, attack it and defeat it. That would have been fine. That would have been great. I'm like, okay, he goes in, he's holding his own, we just want him against Juvia and Gray. But in the end, he's overpowered just by a bit and loses. That would have been great. That would have been fine. I would have been like, okay, I get it. It was just technically him and versus both of them. But no, this is where Cherry pisses me off. She looks at all this ice and water that she's been seeing throughout the whole fight, and immediately, for some reason, just looking at it like, ooh, pretty. Cherry, power me up. Ooh, pretty. It's like, what the hell? They lose through comedy? For a joke? Like, ooh, pretty. It's like, fuck you, Cherry or Chevy or whatever your name is. Fuck you. Leon probably had a chance to at least look cool going down, but no. He had to be blown out of the fucking city like a joke. It was just... okay. And then... Minerva is defeated by Erza, of course, so all that's left is Sting. Oh boy. Throughout the last few episodes, we constantly have scenes of him just sitting there on his ass, probably saying the same thing. I have a plan, I have a plan, I have a plan, I have a plan. I'm like, this plan better be good. We finally get to that plan, and it turns out like he was waiting for all the fairy tale wizards to win, so they can get tired, exhausted, and beat up, so that way in the end they'll be too weak to stand up to him, and he can just knock them all down at once and win by a single point. That's actually pretty underhanded. And when I finally figured that out, it was just like, okay, that's actually a very underhanded, cruel method of winning. And I was actually impressed with Sting, but I understood, like, he lost his best friend, and even if it's just a lie, this is the only chance he has to get him back. So I'm sitting there like, okay, maybe this episode won't be as bad. Maybe he'll have a damn good ending. They all get there. The fairy tale members all get there. And Sting starts bragging about how stronger he is, how more powerful he is, because his feelings for his friend are powering him up, like same way the feelings power up Fairy Tale. And as he goes on and on, I'm starting to get worried, like, oh no, is this gonna end the way I think it is? And then it does. He looks at all 5 of the fairy tale members standing right there together. Gajiel, Erza, Gray, Juvia, Laxus, all standing in a row in the moonlight glistening off their broken bodies. And he's like, I don't want to fight. What? And he starts saying, like, I don't understand. Why do I feel like I can't fight them? My feelings for my friend should be backing me up. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, they should. I mean, why don't his feelings for his friend count as much as the feelings for Fairy Tale? Throughout this whole episode, you get the first Fairy Tale Master, Mavis, constantly referring to Fairy Tale having feelings, these bonds, and that's what gives them their power, their strength. But then when it comes to other people's feelings and their bonds with their friends, it doesn't matter, because they're not Fairy Tale. Apparently, in this world, other people don't count as actual people. They're just shapes in the fucking background to make Fairy Tale look good. Why don't their feelings count? Other people are people too. The entire universe revolves around Fairy Tale. And I don't mean our universe. I don't mean the audience should revolve around Fairy Tale because they're the focus of the manga and anime. But the world that the Fairy Tale characters are living in, the world itself should not revolve around Fairy Tale. They shouldn't be standing there like, we're the shit, get out of the way, we're the most important people. It shouldn't be like a realization. They look up like, hey, you know what? I think we're invincible. I don't think anyone can beat us. Let's go prove it by beating up everyone else. No. And it just disappoints me because when I first started Fairy Tail, I felt like this show could have gone places. Like, it had a good concept. It had great introduction to characters. It had a great, interesting world and how it worked, but it wasn't utilized well. And it just disappoints me when I have to see shit like this. As bullshit moves being pulled out of their ass, just flinging everything, hoping something sticks. But most of the time, the things that do stick is shit. It is. And it saddens me. Because there are points in Fairy Tail where I'm like, that actually does get me here, right here in the heart. Or like, that's fucking awesome. Yes, I see more of that. But then most of the time, it's just like, why? Why is this happening? Why am I seeing this? Why am I hearing the same goddamn thing I've heard before? Oh, Lector's alive through some bullshit Minerva screwed up move. Somehow he was floating around and I guess he grabbed onto Miliana and she teleported him out. I don't know, but he's alive. Good for you, Sting. Yay! You don't need to get stronger. Your friend is still alive. And it just, this episode just pissed me off. It did. I'm hoping that it doesn't do that again. As we know, the 10,000 dragons are coming now, so I'm hoping something exciting will happen with that. It probably will. 10,000 dragons. How won't that be exciting? But I need to think of something good. I can't end this with just nothing but anger and hatred. Oh, there is a new opening and ending. And it's okay. It's not their best foot forward. Visually speaking, what it goes on is good animation. A lot of spoilers for the Dragon War that's coming up. And it does have both ending and opening focus heavily on Lucy. And I think that just strengthens the point that trying to make that Lucy will play an important role in the next coming few episodes. What that role is, who knows? But as for the song itself, the opening reminds me a bit too much of the Edalus theme song. Sometimes there come a couple of English words in there, and maybe it sounds like they're trying to not rap but rock, like a pop rock kind of song, and it's just not that memorable. It goes in one ear, goes out the other. Maybe it's a song you have to hear over and over again to actually have it stick, but for the most part, it wasn't that great. The song itself wasn't that great. But wasn't bad either. The ending was another generic piano slow melody song, you know, sad and for some reason. So again, in one ear, out the other. But it's not bad. I just find it funny that the new opening and ending appeared here, because this is something that should appear right after the Magic Games are completely over and the dragons are coming. But I felt like the people putting this episode together noticed, like, ugh, this is a crappy episode. There's a lot of shit here. We can actually lose viewers from this. Quick, we need to put something good in there without changing the story. It's like, well, we do have the new opening and ending. We weren't going to use it until next episode, the episode after. It's like, oh, no, put it here, you know. Give them something relatively good between this crap sandwich. It's just like, decent opening, decent ending, crap in the middle. It's a crap sandwich. It's like, oh god. Yeah, this was not a good episode. I did not like it. I was furious the whole way through. I was annoyed the whole way through, and I shouldn't be. I still feel like there's time for Fairy Tail to go back, fix their mistakes, and it's still relatively young. It still can, work. If it just gets its shit together. It needs to get its shit together. If it's gonna be back, not on top, but back in the game, going strong. It it's these episodes that disappoint me. And I don't want to feel that way about Fairy Tail. It's one of the few mangas and animes I still bother to read and watch. And even fewer manga and anime that I bother to talk about on camera. But, you know, it just... Because I feel like there's so much potential underneath all the crap that it's constantly spewing out. It does have a gem inside there. Someone needs to just work their ass off to find it and actually clean it up a bit, you know? But anyway, this rant has been going on for too long. And, yeah, I'm hoping next episode won't be as bad. It'll probably just be celebration episode with a shocking ending of the introduction of the dragons. That's what it looks like. So, I'm Tony Dragon, and bye.